It was just an ordinary morning when a millionaire's sleek car suddenly gave out on a quiet street. Frustrated and running late for an important meeting, he was certain no one around would be able to help. But then, out of nowhere, a simple woman appeared. Someone who seemed completely out of place in his fast-paced world. She didn't have fancy tools or a flashy workshop, just a calm confidence and a willingness to lend a hand. As she got to work, fixing the broken car with skill and patience, the millionaire watched in disbelief. Who was this woman? What was her story? But the moment that truly stopped him wasn't her unexpected help. It was when his eyes fell on the ring shining on her finger. It was unlike anything he'd seen before, hinting at a life full of secrets and experiences far beyond her humble appearance. The ring raised questions he hadn't expected to ask. How could someone so simple carry such a symbol? Was there more to her than met the eye? This chance encounter between two very different worlds set the stage for a story that goes beyond a broken car. It's about unexpected connections, hidden pasts, and the surprises life throws when you least expect them. As the woman hands back the keys, the millionaire can't shake the feeling that this moment will change everything. But how, he has no idea yet. Stay with me because what happens next will reveal truths that neither of them saw coming. You won't want to miss how this simple act of kindness turns into something so much bigger, all starting with a ring and a broken car. The woman carefully handed the keys back, her eyes steady but quiet, as if she was used to being overlooked by the world. The millionaire, still holding on to the moment, couldn't stop looking at the ring. It wasn't flashy or expensive. Not the kind you'd expect from someone who wants to show off wealth or status. Instead, it looked old, worn, and meaningful, like it held a story waiting to be told. He wanted to ask her about it, to learn who she was beyond this brief encounter. But the words caught in his throat. There was something about her calmness, something almost unshakable that made him pause. Her clothes were simple, and her hands showed the kind of hard work many would miss. This wasn't a woman who fit into his world of luxury cars, high-rises, and boardroom deals. Yet, here she was, fixing what his money and power couldn't. As she packed up her few tools, he caught a glimpse of the street she came from, a neighborhood far from the glitz he was used to. A place where people worked hard just to get by, where stories like hers were often hidden in plain sight. He suddenly realized that maybe her life was full of quiet struggles, things that couldn't be solved by money or influence. He wanted to know more but felt unsure how to bridge the gap between their worlds. The mystery of the ring, the confidence she carried, and the simple kindness she showed all pulled at him. Who was she really? And why did this small moment feel so important? Something about this meeting felt like the start of a change neither of them saw coming. But for now, the questions lingered, unanswered, hanging in the air like the hum of an engine waiting to start again. As the millionaire watched the woman walk away, a nagging feeling settled in his mind. He realized this wasn't just about a broken car or a chance meeting. There was a story beneath the surface, one he couldn't ignore. Back in his sleek office later that day, he found himself distracted, turning over the image of that ring again and again. It was as if the ring held a key to a mystery, something that connected her to a past he couldn't quite place. Meanwhile, the woman returned to her daily life, but her own world was far from simple. She carried burdens that the millionaire couldn't see, a past shaped by sacrifice and hard choices. The ring on her finger was a reminder of promises made long ago, a symbol of a love that had been tested by time and circumstance. It wasn't just jewelry, it was a link to a life full of challenges she rarely spoke about. Across town, whispers started to circulate about the millionaire's unexpected encounter. His closest friends and business partners noticed a change in him, a quiet distraction that hadn't been there before. Some wondered if he was losing focus, while others speculated about what had happened on that quiet street. Was it just a moment of kindness, or was something deeper stirring? The tension grew as both their worlds began to edge closer, pulled by invisible threads neither fully understood. The millionaire, used to control and certainty, was facing a reality that challenged everything he thought he knew. The woman, grounded in her own struggles, had no idea that a simple act of help would soon bring her into a world so different from her own. Unseen by either of them, the ring had more meaning than anyone guessed, connected to secrets that could change lives and test loyalties. The question was, who would dare to uncover the truth first, and what price would they have to pay? Days passed, but the memory of that morning stayed fresh in the millionaire's mind, like a puzzle he couldn't put down. The ring on the woman's finger wasn't just a piece of metal, it was a symbol, a story begging to be uncovered. He found himself scanning every detail he remembered, searching for a clue to who she really was. Each time he closed his eyes, he saw her steady hands working on his car, the quiet strength in her voice, and that ring catching the light just right. At the same time, the woman felt a strange pull she couldn't explain. The world she knew, the one where hard work and silence kept things moving, suddenly felt smaller, more fragile. She wondered if crossing paths with the millionaire was a coincidence or something fate had a hand in. But the past wasn't something she could escape easily. There were people, promises, and memories tied to that ring, shadows waiting just beneath the surface. The millionaire's curiosity began to grow into something more urgent. He started digging quietly, asking around, trying to find out anything about the woman who had helped him. But the answers were scarce. It was as if she belonged to a part of the city that stayed hidden from his polished world, stories and struggles invisible to his usual life. Meanwhile, unexpected complications began to arise. The woman's past, tied to the ring's meaning, started catching up with her. Unseen eyes were watching, and quiet whispers hinted at secrets better left alone. The simple act of fixing a car had opened a door neither was ready to walk through. With every step closer to the truth, the tension tightened. The millionaire's world and hers were on a collision course, and the moment when everything would come to light was fast approaching. The question hanging in the air was clear. When the secrets behind that ring finally emerge, will it bring them together or tear everything apart? Just as the millionaire thought he was starting to piece things together, a new revelation threw everything into chaos. One evening, while going through some old contacts connected to his business, he stumbled upon a name that made his heart skip, a name eerily familiar, linked not just to the woman, but to the ring she wore. It was a name from a past he thought was buried long ago. Suddenly, the simple woman who had fixed his car was tied to a story far more complicated than he ever imagined. This discovery raised the stakes higher than ever. What if the ring wasn't just a symbol of love or sacrifice? What if it was a sign of something deeper, something that involved secrets, betrayal, or unfinished business? The millionaire's mind raced with questions. Had their meeting been truly by chance, or was it fate's way of bringing hidden truths to light? Meanwhile, the woman felt the pressure closing in. Strange calls and shadowy figures started to appear around her neighborhood, and she knew that whatever she thought she had left behind was now catching up with her. The ring wasn't just a personal keepsake. It was connected to people who wouldn't hesitate to go to great lengths to protect what it represented. Neither of them could deny it anymore. Their worlds were tangled together in ways they hadn't seen coming, and the quiet moments of kindness had sparked a firestorm neither was prepared for. The millionaire faced the risk of losing everything he had built if these secrets came to the surface, while the woman was forced to confront a past she tried so hard to escape. As tension mounted and questions multiplied, the clock was ticking. The real story behind the ring and the woman's true identity were about to be revealed, but when that moment arrived, it wouldn't just change their lives, it could shatter everything they thought they knew. The night everything came to a head was nothing like either of them expected. The millionaire finally confronted the woman, demanding answers about the ring and the secrets it held. With a steady voice, she began to unravel the story, one of love lost and a promise made in a time of hardship. The ring was more than a symbol. It was a link to a past life that involved betrayal, sacrifice, and a family torn apart by greed. She revealed that the ring belonged to a powerful family her own was once part of, one that had fallen from grace after a bitter dispute over wealth and honor. Her act of fixing the car wasn't just kindness, it was fate pulling their stories back together. The millionaire was stunned to learn that his own family had been deeply involved in that conflict, a truth kept hidden for years. As the truth settled between them, shadows from the past appeared in the form of a man who had been watching from the sidelines, the very person who wanted the ring and everything it represented. A tense confrontation followed, with the woman standing firm, her strength surprising the millionaire. Together, they faced the danger head-on, breaking the cycle of silence and fear that had held them captive. Just when it seemed the conflict was over, the woman reached for the ring and slipped it off her finger, only to reveal a second, smaller ring hidden underneath, a ring the millionaire recognized instantly. It was a family heirloom lost decades ago, one that held the key to a secret fortune neither had known existed. The revelation sent a shock through both their worlds. What started as a simple act of help had uncovered a hidden legacy, one that could change everything for both of them. But with new power came new risks, and the true test of their trust and courage was only just beginning. In the quiet moments after the confrontation, the millionaire and the woman stood together, the weight of everything they had uncovered settling between them. The hidden ring, the secret fortune, the tangled family history, it all felt overwhelming, but also oddly freeing. For the first time, they weren't just strangers from different worlds. They were partners facing a future neither could have imagined. The woman explained how she had kept the smaller ring hidden all these years, not just as a reminder of her past, but as a promise to protect something bigger than herself. The millionaire, moved by her strength and honesty, realized that the true value of the ring wasn't in wealth or status, but in the connections it represented, the ties of family, trust, and forgiveness. Together, they made a choice. Instead of letting old wounds and secrets keep them apart, they decided to confront the past openly and rebuild what had been broken. The woman's quiet courage and the millionaire's willingness to listen created a bridge between their worlds, a reminder that kindness and understanding could change lives in unexpected ways. As they walked away from the shadows of the past, both knew this was just the beginning of a new chapter. The broken car, the ring, and the chance encounter had been more than coincidence. They were the start of a story about healing, hope, and the power of human connection. In the end, it wasn't the fortune or the secrets that defined them, but the simple act of helping one another. And sometimes, the most unexpected meetings can lead to the greatest changes. So next time you see someone in need, remember this story. You never know how a small kindness might just change a life forever.